Hikikomori means shut-in or social recluse in Japanese. Hikis basically self-isolate at home and rarely leave their room or house. There are now over 1 million hikikomoris in Japan, but some experts estimate that the number could grow to even as much as 10 million in the future. I've always had a loner side to me, but I wasn't really a social recluse when I grew up, or even in my early 20s. I wouldn't say I ever had really true friends, but I had some acquaintances in high school that I was able to hang out with all the way up to college. But even when I was socializing with these people, I would feel an urge to just go home and be on my computer to surf the internet and play video games. In 2011, I went on a trip to Asia by myself to study Mandarin Chinese in Hong Kong, although I found out later that they actually speak Cantonese there, but I digress. One day I went to McDonald's of all places and bought a chicken burger. This was a fateful burger because it would end up changing my life forever. After eating it, I got a severe stomach infection and I had to go to the hospital where they put me on intravenous drip because I couldn't keep anything down, not even water. However, after I was discharged from the hospital, some of the symptoms still continued, so I booked an early flight home and nearly passed out in the London airport layover. After coming home, I did eventually start to feel a bit better, but the stomach problems continued. I eventually had to see a gastroenterologist, which is basically someone that specializes in stomach issues. I tried many different medicines and natural remedies, and some of them did work, but the medicine that I took made it so that I had to somewhat randomly go to the bathroom, sometimes quite urgently. This made it hard for me to leave the house, and I was a bit embarrassed as well, so it caused me to self-isolate at home and my loner side took over. I became a hikikomori. I would only really go outside to buy groceries, to see my doctor and to visit my mother. This period lasted from about 2011 to around 2017, so roughly 6 years. During this time, I would just play video games, chat online, and watch movies and TV shows. The video game that I played somewhat regularly was an MMO game with a steep learning curve that helped me in many ways, including to develop some self-discipline. Then I also started a tech YouTube channel where I would make tutorials for computer programs, and it got quite popular, which is part of what helped me to break out of being a hikikomori. In 2019, my stomach problems recovered to the point where I wouldn't need to eat medicines every day. Now I just need them occasionally, maybe once a month or every other month. That said, I am still somewhat of a hermit as I enjoy being alone and doing my own things. During the winters, I rarely leave my house because it gets really cold where I live and I don't really like the cold. But during the spring and summer, I may hang out in my hammock or go out walking or hiking or biking and that kind of stuff. One thing I am missing, however, is a group of real-life friends, although I do have some online friends on Discord. It would be cool to meet up once a week or something to do some things in real life. That said, I still identify and empathize with hikikomoris. I also browse the hikikomori subreddit and occasionally make posts and comments there. If you are a hikikomori or an isolated loner, here are some of my tips. First of all, I know a lot of hikis have self-esteem issues. They may think they are parasites or feel some amount of shame and guilt over their situation. But personally, I don't believe in free will. Ever since you were born, you were on this path, and the environment as well as your genetics, which you don't have any control over, shaped who you became. So I would suggest to internalize this mindset and don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay to be different. Secondly, if you want to change your situation, you must recognize your limitations and capabilities. Because being locked in your room for 5 years, 10 years or longer will significantly affect you both physically and mentally. So take things one step at a time and manage your expectations. While there is always room to improve your situation, not everyone will become a Norman. I will probably never become a normal person myself, and I prefer isolation rather than being at the bottom of the social hierarchy for as long as I can sustain it. I was already bullied in school, so I've had enough of that. Remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. See you in the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.